everybody, and welcome to a very special episode here at Yolking Around. As you guys can see, I have Angel, and you guys can't see him on frame, but we do have our our good friend Chito on the other side. You guys might be asking, what are these two fellas doing here? Well, I'm gonna tell you plain and simple. We are gonna be covering the World Cup for 2022.
You're taking us back in time, Derek? Okay.
we're gonna see where this takes us. As you guys can see, since the anomalies of the World Cup have been rooted since the beginning of the 20th century, I should say.
Yeah.
With us, we're doing a special collaboration with SUPERSUBS, Angel, and Chito, good friends of mine. That they have a podcast where you guys mainly talk about sports, soccer.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys just started this project, and now we're sort of collaborating to bring about the best news and the hot topics in regards to Qatar 2022. So just briefly, before we get started, if you guys want to just introduce yourselves, and then we'll get rolling with the news and how this World Cup, what we're expecting more than anything about this World Cup. So go ahead if you want, Angel. Just do a quick introduction, and we'll swing over to Chito.
Yeah. Well, like Derek said, Super Subs podcast. We cover anything soccer related from our perspective, fans' perspective, guys that play the game once in a while. Not every day, but we do dabble in the grand old sports of soccer, or Chito since he's in Europe, football. But yes, we mainly cover MLS because we're in the United States. But we do veer into the Premier League, La Liga, Liga MX, because we do have Mexican roots.
Of course, yeah.
Any league that everybody wants to talk about is usually what we bring up, which is what I like about me and Chito's collab as far as the project. We talk endlessly about soccer as it is. Yeah. So everybody
you
knows
guys can
us for
spitball
that.
each other.
Yep, everybody knows us for that. But yeah, my name's Angel, and Chito, you want to take it over?
Yeah. So I'm Chito. I'm another one of the co-creators of the Super Subs. Like Angel kind of touched on it, where we're soccer fans or football fans. Since I am currently in Finland, I'm reporting to you guys from the top bunk here in Finland. But
you're not in a bunker, right? It looks like you might be in a bunker there.
Trust me, I'm not being human trafficked. Although everyone's like.
Everything's okay. Okay.
Not it. Blink twice. If I'm not saying. Excited to be doing this. Happy to be collaborating with Derek. Because I've known you for quite some time, and you always have such good energy, positivity, and I'm glad that we're all going to be able to work together and bring to you guys content and our thoughts, our opinions on things that happen in this World Cup.
Awesome. Well, there you guys have it. We are excited to just get the ball rolling, literally. And why don't we just get into it? What are you guys' expectations about, just briefly, what you guys think about Qatar being the country that's going to stage this World Cup on 2022? What are you guys' thoughts, impressions, things that you guys might not really be in favor of, or just completely for it?
Well, for me, I want to see Argentina win. I mean, I'm sorry, I have to say it. I have to say it.
Same.
It's because I want Messi to get that cup. Even that'd be the icing on the cake as far as his career.
Yeah,
like
honestly, the money shot. That would be the money shot.
Literally, I'd be very happy with that. I think everybody's wanting there to be a Portugal-Argentina final. Everybody would have to. It'd probably be like a day off for everybody. There's no way you take that in and just be like, oh, okay, we'll have to watch it at work. No, people are gonna take the day off to watch that game if it happens. I don't think it will. Portugal's not at the level of Argentina or Brazil or any of the other big top five, but that'd be my
best guess.
Best guess is gonna be I really want Argentina to win.
So,
but let's see what happens.
Would you like an South American or Latin or an American team going against a European team for the final, or would you prefer two South American teams or one? Do you have a preference on that? What kind of final do you?
If the U.S. was there to be second place, I'd be fine with that. I mean, my dream final would be the U.S. versus Argentina, but
An Argentina US. How about you, Chito?
Imagine that.
Who do you want to win, or who do you see possibly taking the cup?
Gonna go on kind of like a little bit from like the first kind of like question, like where you're saying like thoughts on like it being in Qatar. I mean, of course, it's obvious, a lot of people are a little sour towards it because, the controversy that truly did come out and it was confirmed that it happened. The fact that it stayed Qatar, it's like sketch. Um, but overall, like I still think that that it could still be an exciting World Cup. A lot of the players, a lot of people have come out and say, "Hey, let's leave the politics out of it. Let's focus on the sporting." And so with that, kind of makes me think like, "Hey, the players aren't going to be bothered by it now. They're going to do there to handle their business." So I think it's going to be very competitive. I think it's going to be a very high energy World Cup. um Despite all the other stuff that like the fans are kind of having to deal with, like the limit, like the limitations on some of the drinking. I think they say now that there are going to be some alcoholic drinks being sold. I think before they said there wasn't going to be. So there is going to be alcohol now, which is good. So it seems like Qatar is changing up certain things, to kind of accommodate the world. um but Angel is saying United States and like in the final, that would be a dream. I don't think it's our time for that. I do think it's going to be a final that's going to be like Las Americas, So I think it might definitely could be like a Brazil. I definitely think Brazil could be in the final.
Same. I definitely see them as a strong contestant themselves. They just have a stacked team. I mean, it's just superstars in that fucking team, honestly.
Too that are in really great form, going into it. So I definitely for sure think I could see Brazil going all the way, in my opinion.
Going all the way. Okay, I want to trace back with Angel because I do believe that something inside of me says Argentina has to be on those top contesters, but I do feel that it's still, the World Cup is a monster on its own. It's its own organism. So I think a lot of factors end up playing into it. We've seen it. People get injured within the World Cup. There's a lot of heat. Weather is going to be an issue as well. That's why I also feel that a lot of South American or just American countries can put in a good fight just because of the weather situation. Have it be hot and arid, and maybe that can play into an advantage for the Americas.
Yeah. Apparently, the reason they moved it to the wintertime because the average temperature between June and July in Qatar is about 108 degrees.
Yeah, it's like 56 or 50.
I think it's like 48 to 50, something like that.
Celsius. Yeah.
And then in the wintertime, you're sitting around 85 to 80 daily. And that's still really hot, especially if you're playing insane. 90 minutes. Or, when it starts getting into the knockout rounds when you have to play 120 minutes. Yeah. They have sensors inside of the stadium and whatnot that tell the refs how hot it is. Like if you need to take a water break. They're trying to make it so that way you don't get injured as much. But it's going to happen. It's bound to happen. Yeah. There's really nothing you can do, especially when you're trying to, play for the World Cup. It's not just another game.
Yeah. Well, it's such a weird and awkward time. Go ahead, Chito. Go ahead.
Have like a cooling systems or something like that for the crowds, which should be nice.
Maybe I'm not 100% sure as to how much technology might have gone into the building, but I know that they spent up to $229 billion in the making of this project. Billions, dude, billions. What do you guys think? Should it be that much?
I mean, they had eight stadiums total, I think it was, and 7 of them were brand new. That's where most of that money's going to.
Jesus, it's incredible. They got so much money in that country. So much oil money, they're loaded.
So many dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's like a really expensive quinceañera.
Yeah, once in a lifetime.
But yeah, no, it's crazy to think of how much money they spent. Russia came out and said it was like $14 billion they used for theirs.
Yeah, something like that.
To use $229 billion because that number's been thrown around a lot. So that's basically confirmed that it's a lot of money that they're spending. They supposedly used it for metros. They used it for the stadiums.
Logistics and infrastructure, basically.
Yeah. And then you go and see where people are going to be staying that are coming to see the game, and you get shipping containers.
Did you see? There was a TikTok that I saw that showed the accommodations for like the teams, and they showed around the Mexican national team. It looks dope. Like the players have like their own personalized room with their face and stuff like that on the inside. It just looks incredible. I'm like, damn, yeah, they have mirrors on the ceiling, disco ball that comes down, and a freaking stripper pole, dude. Yes.
Yep. But for everyone else that's coming, it's like that because they had a TikTok showing that there were just a bunch of layered out shipping containers. There were 1 bedrooms, and I'm like,
kind of like an apartment in New York.
Yeah,
maybe half the size of one.
Upstairs? What do you mean upstairs?
Tiny apartments now in New York. Like, there's this dude that got famous on TikTok for living in one of them.
Yeah.
I can't even, when I see those videos, it's just
the audacity, making it feel like it's nice, but aesthetics.
Like, how much is your rent? $3,700. What the? It's not that bad.
And what do you do? I'm a waiter. How the fuck are you surviving?
It's a tips, guys. It's a tip. Oh man, but yeah, no, it's crazy how much money they've spent. The controversy. Obviously, they had to spend all that, bribing money.
Yeah, there has been a lot of documentaries coming out on Netflix, on Amazon. I think has another one. I've seen a couple just popping up about the lack of transparency that we've seen on this World Cup and in previous years.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix did a great documentary where they trace back at different eras of the World Cup and FIFA as an organization and how it started, and it has reflected that at some point, sadly, FIFA decided to put the sport aside and make it about money, make it about business. And the crazy thing about this is that they are so intertwined with government, just because government just being one of those main supporters of soccer in the industry and the worldwide event. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to have a little piece of that cake.
A piece of the pie.
Oh, it's funny because
yeah, a little piece of the pie.
Did you guys hear about the FIFA letter that they sent out because everybody was so there was, I think, a group of U.S. fans that were going to the World Cup and they were LGBT. And then there was some from the UK. They had groups and they just said, "Hey, I know it's illegal because it is illegal in Qatar.
Yeah,
it's a Muslim country.
It's definitely illegal.
You get 7 years in jail if you're gay." They just wanted clarification, or at least some type of it's okay if you come and support your teams and whatnot, but they're just saying respect the country. And then there was a bunch of them that were coming that's all we want. It's just we'll do that. Just make sure that we're not going to go to jail if we have a rainbow flag or something like that. And then they're like, well, yeah, that was the leniency. But then FIFA came out and saying they sent a letter to all the teams saying, hey, let's keep it above football, guys. They're telling everybody, let's keep it out. Let's keep politics and everything out of football. But that's the main reason why they got Qatar is because they wanted the money. Yeah. They had the strings that were pulled. You can't have it both ways, which is what's one of the biggest controversies is you have another country, you have to respect their values. But at the same time, it's these are people. It's not just a random dude. It's these are people that just want to make sure that they can watch the sport.
You know what pisses me off? Because recently Sepp Blatter came out saying, he says that he deeply regrets, what happened and taking that bribe money.
With his little accent.
Wasn't Qatar, since it wasn't them, United States actually won the bid. So it would have been this year in United States. And Denver was one of the places that was in that successfully was going to be a host city. So we could have had the World Cup in Denver right now, bro. I'm just like, oh, that sucks so bad.
I agree with that, but I don't, because if you would have taken into account what happened with the Gold Cup, where Mexico played the U.S., and then what did we do? What did we do? Right? Every Mexican fan knows what I'm talking about. Start throwing stuff at the players.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
everybody's like, oh,
let's go to the game. It's like, yeah, man, but you got to understand, we were doing that game, those games that were played here were a bid to be one of the teams that's going to be, or one of the places they're going to be holding World Cup games.
To scope it out, basically.
In 2026. And what do? We act like buffoons. And then
we do know how to do that.
We do know how to do that, but that's where the alcohol thing comes in. You know, I don't know, man. Like Mexicans, desmadre. Like that's just how we do.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna come in. I hear Mexico's gonna send part of their national guard over there to just patrol and make sure Mexicans aren't acting a fool. That's
But-
what we do.
What?
I
I
don't
didn't
know.
know that.
Yeah, they're sending a small section of the national guard to make sure that Mexicans don't get in trouble, because
Yikes.
it's been a thing.
Yeah, we've like pissed on the wrong places. We've created every single time there's a news out in every World Cup. There has been at least one news outlet that says something about misbehavior from.
Mo cagan el palo, neta. Pórtense bien ustedes. Just kidding.
Well, there's a saying that says La Copa del Mundo no empieza hasta que los mexicanos llegan. So there you go. You know?
Well, they were talking about how the first thing that Mexicans do when we get there is they find the biggest statue and they throw a Mexican flag on it.
Flags everywhere, especially like around like the Cinco de Mayo and all that stuff like that. Here in Denver, they're everywhere, man.
You can't lie. We have one of the best flags. I know I'm biased, but we do have a beautiful flag.
Yeah.
What's cool is that like it calls to the true roots of what happened. When they saw the eagle eating the snake, and they're like, "Yep, this is where we're gonna start." And so like it's true history on that flag. It's nice. I agree.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I almost just started to tear up a little. No, just kidding.
Yeah, but going back to the Qatar situation, there's been a lot of allegations coming out, and Joseph Blatter also clarified that he knew. Now he knows that the World Cup in Qatar was a mistake. And this is what's sad about it. I feel like with the situation that we're being proposed right now, where they want to keep politics out of football, it's kind of too late. It's like over correcting what FIFA should have thought about before doing the World Cup in Qatar. Because by saying Qatar is going to be the host, but there is also all these sort of social issues happening, then we're going to have our players go to this country, and then we want to separate them from the controversy. But they knew that the controversy was going to get ignited once they decided to go over there. And you're right, Chito. It shouldn't be the player's responsibility to express anything politically, because soccer is a sport more than anything. It happens to be intertwined because soccer, it's not only it's a sport, but it's also it's something of an essence, something different that just gets into every country or most countries. So by having the players and telling them, hey, try to stay away from politics, blah blah blah, I feel like it's just a overcorrection from FIFA trying to say, well, how can we wash our hands, and say we're just gonna make it strictly soccer and not want to bring politics in it. So it's just interesting to me, seeing how they're trying to like overcorrect. And going back to the LGBTQ too, there's I think it was England that was having some sort of discussion with the organizers, because they're gonna be wearing the captain band with the rainbow.
It looks like it's gonna be Harry Kane's gonna be wearing the One Love.
One Love there. That's what it is.
It's a one, and then it's a rainbow flag behind it. I think they were talking about Gareth Bale was gonna wear it too for Wales.
There you go.
So they're gonna. It's a silent protest. It's usually what everybody does when something around the world is happening. Football players in general, they want to have their opinion. They have to have their opinion because they have such a big reach to everywhere, especially with it being soccer. Everybody that knows football knows who Harry Kane is, knows who Gareth Bale is, knows who all these big stars are, and they want to make sure that they are seen too.
Yeah, seen on the right light, I guess.
Yeah. So that's why they were going to be wearing that captain's armband as like a silent protest, because I think that, like I was saying, the UK group that wanted to make sure they were going to be safe in the US group, they both pulled out. They asked for a refund from the
Mm.
World Cup. They said they weren't going. But apparently, it was a big group that was going to go from both because they didn't get affirmation that they were going to be okay. They just got the "don't do it in public" kind of thing,
Right.
like the old military thing where it's like "don't ask, don't tell."
Yeah. Yeah. Which it's terrible. It can
Yeah.
be terrible. It can get very toxic. Um, I believe Denmark came out with the kits from Hummel, the brand, and they're like this muted kit that doesn't you can barely see like the Denmark logo, and there's hardly any branding, and it's because of that sort of silent protest. They have I believe red, white, and
Black.
black. Yeah,
Mhm.
I believe they have those three colors to try to symbolize something. Of course, who knows how much of it is marketing, just
It
trying to
has
sell
to be.
another shirt.
Because that black kid is tight, man.
Yeah.
Black and red
It
kid
is all
really-
muted.
all
Yes,
muted.
it does look cool though.
So that was for the migrant workers.
Oh, the migrant
yeah.
workers.
So
Okay.
migrant workers.
Oh yeah, because there was a whole like
Thousands.
6 million.
Thousands were
I'll look it up
died.
real quick, but yeah.
So Denmark was doing their part. They used the black one as a mourning kit, essentially. That's why it was all black. But the stuff like that. It doesn't have to be kneeling during the national anthem because that's controversial for one. They're still playing the game. They're not stopping anything. They're not interfering with anything, but they're making your voice, heard, which is cool. What do you think, Chito? How's it been over there as far as the World Cup and all this noise that comes out of it?
I think most of the conversations that I've overheard is just so many people just so stoked to just watch the action unfold. Like like I was on the tube, the underground tube in London, and there was these groups of four ladies sitting there just talking about, all right, this is going to be this group, this is going to be that group, talking and so excited, enthusiastic about it. Like, okay, just talking about the odds of the teams and stuff like that. They kind of already just pushed everything else out of their mind, and they're just, as well, like, again, focused on the sporting aspect. And the guys that I'm roomed with, they're soccer fans as well. One of them's a Sheffield Wednesday fan, the other one's a Tottenham Hotspur fan, and yeah, whenever we talk, it's all mostly just now focusing on, the games, the turnouts, stuff like that, like, and I think that's cool now because now we're in the thick of it. What is it? Tomorrow's the first game.
Yeah, tomorrow I think it's Qatar and Ecuador, which there has been controversy even about that game, saying that there might be some bribe money.
Yeah, they were
There's
trying to bribe
whistleblowers coming out saying that they wanted Ecuador to lose 1-0 in the second half or something along those lines.
They wanted to make sure that Qatar was up.
Yeah,
They're like, hey guys, come on.
we at least gotta win one game, guys.
Money. Yeah.
And then, yeah, you were right. It was thousands, and just to clarify, the Guardian says that it was 6,500 migrant workers are said to have passed away in the making of Qatar. And in that video, in that documentary, these are migrant workers. You're right that they normally they get them from, I believe, Nepal and parts of India, kind of that region. And yeah, basically what they would do is that they would hire them, and then they would take their passports away, therefore making them sort of like they had a weird status as a migrants in Qatar, and they were pretty much forced to slavery almost in hard conditions where people were just dying because of heat exhaustion and just the living conditions. And yeah, a lot of people will not get to see their family members come back to them after this.
Yeah.
And they weren't being paid either. They weren't being paid.
That's sad, man. Yeah. So hopefully, I do hope that maybe some more teams will stop and do something, to commemorate. And I think actually the United States national team played with a group of migrant workers, like a pickup game for fun. Yeah, I think they did that with some of the workers, which is really cool. But yeah, may those people that unfortunately had to suffer and lost their lives, may they rest in peace. And see, again, that's just another one of those things. Like, man, like Qatar, there's just so much sketchiness.
Money. Everything is just money, 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 money.
Yeah.
You guys want an injury list report? There's
Yeah.
that when I was looking into it surprised me. So I'll just go down the list real quick.
Yeah.
I only had the most impactful injuries really. So Argentina does have Dybala. He has a hamstring injury.
Oh yeah.
He is still on the team. He hasn't been cut out, but
Since Roma, no,
Yeah.
he was. I think he got injured in one of the last games that they had.
and then Di Maria also has a hamstring injury. Most of these
Ooh.
injuries are hamstring injuries.
Those
And
hammies, baby.
Those hammies, man, you gotta
Those
work them
hammies.
out. But yeah, those they're both still on the squad. They haven't been rolled out for the cup, but that's something, especially with it heat exhaustion. Being hydrated. Hamstrings are definitely something that you need to be on top of as far as like making sure you don't get hurt. Because once your hamstring is out, man,
Oh no, you're fucked.
you're fucked.
You're fucked.
That's
At
it.
least I mean, they do have the best technology to keep him up,
Mhm.
and going. But yeah,
But
that-
morphine can only keep you so far. No.
Yeah. Horse tranquilizers can only give you some. So.
Brazil, Arthur. Brazil has Arthur out. He's out for the World Cup.
I mean, he's been out.
He's been out
period.
for a while.
Like,
So it's just one of those things where when he played with Barcelona, he was good. He went to Juventus, and he was doing meh.
now he's
So-
in Manchester United, no, or
Is it-
Manchester City. Is it Manchester City that he's on?
No, not that I know of. I just remember last time I saw him was Arthur.
Arthur.
He played
Yeah,
on
he was in Juventus. That's the last team I remember he's on is Juventus.
Mhm.
Yeah, like
oh,
he played really good to get to Barca. Then once he was there, he just like really didn't fit with the play style, and there was a lot of animosity that grew. And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm out." And then he went to Juventus, and then poof, I don't even remember where the heck he is now.
Yeah, Barcelona did him dirty. They're basically forcing him out without forcing him out. They're like, hey, yeah, no, and then that whole debacle happened. But yeah, we got that, and then
Oh, he's on loan for 1 year with Liverpool right now. Liverpool. I knew he had gone to the English league. But
okay,
Yeah.
I could see that being all right.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he's not gonna play.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
gonna play.
Liverpool
Or
has.
dollar
Canada.
store Thiago.
Canada's got Alfonso
Que
Davies.
hago más bien.
Alfonso Davies hamstring injury.
Who? I'm sorry.
Alfonso Davies.
Really?
He's still in the squad, but again, I'm telling you, hammies are a thing, man. Yeah, a lot of people are getting hamstring injuries. Then we got England, Ben Chilwell, and Reece James. I don't know what they're doing at Chelsea, but
in the cup.
Those are some good players too. Reece James
Another
is
really
a
good player.
freaking beast, man. Gosh,
Yeah.
yeah.
they're really good players.
Yeah.
France, obviously everybody knows N'Golo Kante is not going to be playing.
Yeah.
He's out. Paul Pogba, obviously out. And one that I didn't know, but
Two of the main gears in the
Yeah.
midfield for France,
Yeah.
really.
and then Lucas Digne, he's not playing. He's out as well.
Wow.
That's another player that it might be a little bit of a relief if he needed to throw somebody on. I don't see him doing it. I wouldn't have seen him doing anything crazy, but it'd be nice to have a supporting cast. Germany.
I got to watch it because I watched here in Brighton. In England, I watched Brighton versus Aston Villa, and Digne was there. He's watching him live. He's good. He's really good.
What's the physicality like? Does it really portray to what we like once you watch it from the States, or I guess from home? It seems like the English league always has this like very athletic and strong physicality. Did you see that? Was that reflected on the pitch over there? I know it's one game, but just like your general intake, the atmosphere and whatnot.
Physicality, and a lot of the tackles were really rough. Like you could actually really hear it, and the ref let them go. Like the guys would look at each other when they're running, and they'll like fast go shoulder to shoulder, but really just clash and fight for that ball. There was when you would get the ball, like it was so crazy because it was so much high intensity, and it seemed like nobody had time on the ball. So you'd get it, you'd have to be like that, bro. And like little flick-ons, like the pace was a lot higher, which was cool. But it relied a lot on the individual players, quick decision and their ability, Whereas in MLS, it is very much tactical. They get to move around, and it's it's a slower pace, but it's definitely a lot more tactics versus individual skill, and that's one of the things like I noticed differently in like the way they play. But I gotta tell you, it was entertaining, man. I had so much fun. Yeah.
How are the fans? The fans do they have a different approach to the game over there as far as cheering and just support for their teams showing up?
Yeah, like the fans, while we were all walking from the crowds from the train, we'd have to go across, then go over on the bridge. While we were walking, everyone was like, you could hear the guys like singing the songs, going to the stadium. And then like once we were there before the match, they had one main song that they would sing, which was the club song, and they played the lyrics on the jumbotron, so everybody sang along. Just so smart, so everybody could see the lyrics. And then during the match, one
Right,
side
yeah.
was the Brighton fans, and on the other side was all the Aston Villa fans. But yeah, dude, like they would like, it seemed like there was like an order, like in one moment they would sing and the next moment they would sing. They never were really singing over each other, which I thought was kind of cool. But not gonna lie, the Villa fans were loud as hell, man. They were loud, 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 loud. I was impressed. And then like with the guys that I was next to, like the guy, he goes, "Oh yeah," he's like, "I took a 2 hour coach to get here," and I was like, "Oh man, this is like a 2 hour bus ride to get there." And he goes, "I'm from a little," he goes, "I'm a little farm, but whenever they have a home game," he told me that he always goes. And yeah, like we were sitting there, and you feel the emotion from the crowds. Like even a few times myself, I would get up, I was like, "What the fuck?" And the guy was like, "Hey, tonight, yeah, come on." He was excited because I was getting excited. And it's just like it was so cool. And then like, yeah, it's an energy that you get, and you just see and you feel the emotion with the crowd, and you just, I don't know, I feel like it's a story too. It was good, man. I definitely want to go again. And I think everybody, if you get a chance, try to attend a football match there. Even then, like it wasn't major teams, and it was fun. It was fun. And what I like too is that like I emailed the club asking them what are the ways to get to the stadium and stuff like that. And they have like a free train that goes from the city center, and it takes you directly in front of the stadium. And to my surprise, when I went up, they gave me a gift. They gave me a scarf and a card on my seat saying, enjoy your first Premier League game. And they gave me a scarf for Brighton FC. I was like, yes, that's cool, man.
That's
That's tight.
hospitality right
That's
there.
tight.
That's hospitality right there.
Yep.
And yeah, it was just a blast. And like the stadium was nice. And during the match, you would actually see seagulls flying around. It was cool. Yeah, I recommend it.
Ain't
Oh
true.
yeah, the
Ain't
Brighton
true.
Seagulls, huh? That's awesome.
So it was beautiful. And I know we went off on a little off subject, but yeah. So dude, I think what would be cool, and
No,
I
you're
just want to
good.
put
Yeah.
this out there, like we should try to do like where we all three or something go to a match in the UK.
Oh, that would
That'd
be
be
awesome.
cool.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
That'd be tight.
Little bloggeroo.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
Just to get back on track on the whole Qatar thing. So we know that England has a great team. We know that they have athletes that can definitely put in a good battle challenge, whatever you want to call it. What are your guys' expectations about England? Are they gonna be a bust, or are they gonna actually be protagonists in this World Cup? What do you guys think?
They're gonna be performing to expectation, so I do see them going far. I
Okay.
don't see them winning though. I'm thinking quarterfinals, maybe.
A good
A
quarterfinals
good
would be good,
quarterfinal
I
would
think,
probably
for
win.
England to revindicate themselves from previous matches. I think I see that.
Mhm.
I concur with that.
I don't think you can call it a failure if you get to the quarterfinal.
No. It's fucking. It's tough
It's
as it
tough as
is.
it is, but yeah, I think a quarterfinal will be all right for England. Like I said, you just got other teams there. You got Brazil, you got Argentina, you got all the other teams where they're not going to be at the same level. It's just I don't see them going out right away, but don't see them getting that far.
How about you, Chito? What do you think, or what do you think they might be missing to help him solidify a win in the World Cup?
I mean, definitely losing, Chilwell and Reece James, that leaves them pretty weak on the flanks in the back. If they can get the right replacements and kind of shore up that defense. Other than that, I think like their midfield and like their attacking power, I think it's there. You see them. We saw them in the Euros. In the Euros, they did great. So and like I think they'll definitely make it through the group comfortably. Although a few of the people that I met like around here, like they're still not super confident in this squad. A few people think that they're at least going to make it out of the groups, but they think that's kind of after that. That's going to be where the bet as good as it gets, really. Um, you know, I agree. I think England's going to be the number one in the group. I think if they can keep their form, they could. I see that they potentially could be in like the quarterfinals or maybe even the semis.
I could see semis too if they can stay healthy and they actually
They
show
have
up
it, yeah.
to play for sure. I can definitely see him as a semi. How about coming back home a little bit in our team Mexico? How do you guys see them performing in the World Cup? Are we gonna get that quinto partido, the fifth?
The white jersey.
Yeah.
Are we finally gonna be able
Yeah,
to see the
yeah,
white
yeah.
jersey?
Are we gonna be able to?
They can't have the white jersey until they get out of the group
That's
stage.
true, which is terrible for marketing. Whoever
Dude, that jersey is sick.
that
and they can't,
that jersey is selling like hotcakes, dude.
they
Like
can't
that
see
shit
until
is
they get out
selling.
of the group. That's horrible. But Mexico does have Jesus Corona out. He's not gonna be there. Other thing that I'm looking at, Raul Jimenez is still on the squad, but he's been getting,
Yeah, that's one of the news. Yeah,
he's been getting chronic fatigue. Now he did like crack his skull. What was it, a couple years ago?
yeah.
So I'm not sure if, especially with it being heat, and again going back to the heat thing, heat and being dehydrated. I don't know how that's going to affect him.
He looks feeble. And don't take this the wrong way. I know he's a top athlete. But he to me looks feeble, like weak. He doesn't seem strong. There's something about him that doesn't really convince me. Besides the fact that he was out on injury with the Wolves for pretty much most of the season. I remember watching the Wolves play this season in the Premier League, and I didn't really see the Mexican forward there. So that does worry me a little bit because that's one thing that Mexico needs to solidify, which is their attack. Having the key man up top. We begged and suffered for Chicharito. We begged and suffered for Bella for that reason because we know we need that key top attacker player that up there to help solidify the offense a little bit. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. I think they're set as far as goalies.
I mean, goalies. I think they
defense. I mean, the defenders that are there.
It's interesting what Tata has been doing with the defense. No, I think.
I mean, after getting we'd get threats from the cartel. Fix this or
yeah. We don't like you like Maradona. You will.
But I think overall it's just that the mid and the attacking roles of Mexico it's faltering a little bit. The defenders have to push up a lot more, and when you do that, you leave the back open.
Yeah,
and that's where Ochoa can only do Ochoa things so much.
Yeah. Anything right here, goal is fine, but yeah, you have to be careful once you're having like a 3-on-1, or hopefully that's not like, you know what I mean? When you start pushing lines, I am confident that we have youth on the flank, especially as outside defenders, to come back and do those long runs up and down. But I am scared for the lack of experience that we also have on those areas.
Yeah. I mean, like what I always say though is when it comes to tournaments, Mexico always turns it on one way or another.
Exactly.
They find a way to crank out they find a way to crank out wins. They start playing entertaining, soccer when it comes to those moments. So I'm hopeful that they will perform. I think they for sure going to get out of the the group stages. but yeah, like with that lack of goal scoring though, I'm just like, I don't know, like that goal scoring threat. You know what I mean?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like I still can't believe, the other Jimenez wasn't called up.
Yeah, Linus. Are you talking about Linus or? Oh,
The Chaco
He's
Jimenez's
already
son. I
touched
can't
on.
remember his first name.
is he playing in
It's
Europe right
Jimenez
now?
with a G. I don't remember what his first name is, but yes.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
But yeah, he plays in the Netherlands now. He plays in Holland now, and he's been
Yeah.
scoring mad goals. He's good. He's in form. Like, but he didn't get the call up.
You think it's a bribery thing?
Maybe I read
You
that
know,
people were thinking that Tata is doing some sort of sabotage on purpose.
Maybe he better not do that because Mexican fans for one aren't we don't.
They're not fond of him.
No.
Like he's been criticized tremendously from the Mexican crowd. Football Picante burns him out in every
time.
show. They light him up,
I heard
man.
that somebody will put
Yeah.
a hechizo on him.
Yeah.
Remember when people tried to do an hechizo on
Oh, God.
Landon Donovan?
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
that was so crazy.
Yeah.
The dude, that'd be so funny. They do that.
What they found like a voodoo doll? Didn't they find a
Yeah.
voodoo doll
Oh, God.
somewhere?
Yeah, legit.
Yeah.
No, I think yeah, whatever it takes, to be honest. But Mexico could turn it on. They always have that potential, like a lot of the what is it, the football pundits, if they will, is they usually always say Mexico always performs for some reason when it comes to the tournaments, and I think they can do good early on, but I don't think they'll go deep into the tournament. To be honest, that's my thought, at least.
I hope we can get that fifth match, but
Yeah.
I'm up in the air, and I don't want people to think that this is malinchismo, just going against the team, hating, because obviously we want our team to do great, but you got to be realistic. You got to be realistic. But I do agree with you, Chito, that Mexico or if they can get the it factor to turn on and actually perform, we do have young players that can bring something fruitful from at least the competition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And we got some good veterans too, that can
Yeah.
have tons of experience. It could be good.
Is this Memo Ochoa's last Mundial, you guys think?
It has to be. It has to be. This is the last Mundial for a lot of players. Obviously,
Perhaps Messi, going back to
Messi's definitely
Messi.
gonna
Ronaldo,
Last
same thing.
Ronaldo, same thing. I can see a lot of players that we've seen growing up. They're gonna be this is it. This has to be it. It's just that the age and the amount of new players that are coming in, the strength of new players coming in, the skill. It's just how you played before, even 5 years ago compared to now. It's changed tremendously. So you can't expect to be playing at the same level, even if it's a high level, and then have the youth come in and then not be at your level because you were there at some point.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. The U.S. national team, they got basically all young kids, except for a few old heads. That's just what they had to do with their squad. Miles Robinson, though, he's out. That's a
Good
big thing.
defender, yeah.
He's a really good defender.
I still think the national team, they did good by not getting Zach Steffen, though. I will to this day talk shit about Zach Steffen. I had so much hope for him. I say it all the time. That I had so much
He
hope
comes
for him.
from like a good place. He doesn't come from a bad place.
Yeah, I expected him to do a lot more, and then Man City was like, "All right, well, we got some cup games. Let's see what you do." And then he's like, what is goalie?
What is soccer?
No, it didn't work out. Where's my participation trophy? No, but yeah, you got
Sorry, Stefan, if you ever watch this.
hashtag not sorry, but no, no, but they got Horvath, they got Matt Turner. I don't like him, but they got Matt Turner, they got Horvath. Did you see? Oh, well, Cheeto's over there, but they the Ted Lasso thing where they were putting billboards all over
Oh,
the U.S. for all the players that were selected to the national team. Guess where ours was? Ours was right above Habibi, if anybody knows.
Habibi?
Yeah, the hookah lounge. Right on top of there is a billboard that's to Ethan
Is,
Horvath.
Oh,
From
wow.
area, and he
Yeah,
had the whole
'cause,
thing.
he's from area, and he had the whole thing, and he makes so many puns. You just got to pass by there and see it.
there a lot of like the cities are putting up, murals about like the players that are from that city. I
Mhm.
think they should do a mural for Ethan Horvath. That would be dope. Like the couple that I saw was like in Dallas. They got McKenny and Jesus
Mhm.
Ferreira, and there was one other one that I thought was cool.
There was 3 that I saw, but it was McKinney and Ferreira. But I think he's gonna be sick. Jesus Ferreira is gonna be at least 5 goals.
What I like about the United States team is that yeah, they're very young, but they're young players that have proven themselves, through in their own respective leagues, whether that is in MLS or
Mhm.
whether that is in like out in Europe. Like you see, like
Mhm.
McKenny killed it. Ronaldo and all them were giving tons of compliments, saying like this guy is the real deal. Brendan Aronson tearing it up. Like I met this one dude from Leeds, and he goes, "Oh man, we love those American players. Like these guys are really showing what America could do." Tyler Adams crushing it, and I just think United States have a really strong squad where, oh yeah, they're gonna make it out of this group. And I think they could potentially, go far too. No, I think they could potentially go far. If they can, keep together, keep their confidence high.
They can do a surprise.
They always have the weight of everyone saying, "Oh, the Americans, playing soccer."
Mhm.
If they could just say, forget about that and stick to their true game and work together, dude, they got a great squad. They could do it. They can go pretty far. Win it, no, but they can go far.
They got a lot of speed and they got a lot of heart and now they got a lot of skill.
Mm-hmm.
Up top. I've seen some of the younger players and I definitely feel like if they get their stuff together, they could do a really good tournament. And also for future generations, if they can solidify and get that experience and just become better as a group, I feel like they could be a future threat definitely for a lot of competitions.
The only problem I think is right now is that I think they're going to go with a false nine approach, which can be effective, but they're going to end up going against teams that are going to have a lot bigger defenses, and you're going to need somebody that's going to be a good target man, that's going to be strong, that's going to be handle that and find those spaces. And we do not have a forward on the squad that can do that. Like I honestly think that Berhalter really, really, really fucked up um, by not bringing in
By not signing Chicharito.
folk right now. He's killing it in Germany. He's fucking killing it in Germany. And I'm like, bro, bring him in. Bring him in. And there was a guy that he brought in. What was his name? Haji Wright. Haji Wright. Didn't he only play like 2 games last year for United States? And
Something
he's
like
going to
that.
the World Cup. He's going to the World Cup. Like what?
That's what a lot of the squads. I'm wondering where they decided. Hey, yeah, no, this
Yeah,
makes
like
sense.
what idea they have behind it, what philosophy
I think-
they're trying.
Yeah, I think I saw. I
Implement.
don't remember what team it was. It might have been the Netherlands. But they said that one of the guys that's getting called up, he's never played a national team game. Like his first
Wow.
cap is gonna be, playing in the World Cup. It's like what?
Spoiled brat.
That's kind of
What's
cool,
happening here,
because I
man?
guess they say that he is actually a really good keeper. But I think they're kind of like, was it due to injuries or something that they couldn't really call up their first choice, and that's why this guy is going in.
I think I remember that being the case. But yeah, it's just like your
That's
first
cool though.
cap.
I think I watched a game where he was
Yeah.
playing and he had some good saves. He is on the older end though.
Yeah.
Nice. Shit, I forgot what I was gonna say about that. Oh, going back to the false nine. I know that the U.S. previously has been very strong up top, and by up top I mean like headers, just aerial game altogether. Uh, have they sort of detracted from that ideology? You guys think where now it's more common to maybe see an action like Messi does more of a false nine, or maybe even like what we used to see on like Luis Suarez do with Barcelona. Have they sort of stepped away from that? And do you think that that could actually have a major impact in this tournament?
I believe so. You're seeing it's because like Chito said, we don't have a guy at the front that's going to be able to take the ball. Although I think
Or hold the ball, even
Or
just
hold the
give
ball,
somebody, one of the tiny guys, a chance. Yeah.
Pulisic, he's playing on one side. McKinney's playing on another side. They're more about creating the pass, creating the chances rather than taking charge.
Right.
And then Ferreras, same thing. He is one of those chance guys. How they used to talk shit about Chicharito, where he would only be like a header.
You have to be at the.
You have to be in the box.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I can see that happening. So up top, I don't think it's going to be the same approach. It's just going to be whoever can score because I don't
just get it in.
Yeah,
Go to
that's
your
all we can
home,
do
ball.
at this
Go to
point.
your home.
Go to your home. That would be a good banner to have in the stands. Just to before we start wrapping it up, what do you guys think about Belgium? I feel like that Belgium is gonna do like a great performance in this World Cup just because of how stacked their team is, and I feel like they're kind of like the silent threat, especially in Europe. I feel like everybody has their eyes on France, England, heck, Spain, but I feel like Belgium has really developed their soccer. At least I think they, with De Bruyne being one of the best midfielders out there, What do you guys think about Belgium in this World Cup? Are they a threat? Do you guys think it'll be a bust for them?
And they're always in the conversation to be considered, a dark horse, because they do have, those individual players that are, ultra high level,
Yeah.
So I mean that's always good, but like what we have seen consistently is that they'll do good to a certain point, and like somehow, some way they fall out, they choke, or something happens. If they can kind of break that duck in a way, and kind of keep the consistency going, they are a very dangerous team. They are a very dangerous team. So I think they could have a very successful World Cup for sure. But looking at history, I'm just like, nah, they won't go far, like at all. Like I don't think, or maybe they can, but I don't, as far as potential to win, no, I don't think they could win it.
Okay.
They are a strong team. It's just to compare them, they're one of those teams where they have all the star power, but getting to
The Dallas Cowboys of the World Cup.
Oh wow!
Oh wow, we're going there, Chito.
I wouldn't go that far.
Wow.
I wouldn't go that far. They've actually won stuff. No.
I feel attacked.
Sorry. Broncos Nation, baby.
Let's ride. Let's ride.
Let's ride. Fucking donkeys.
De Bruyne, let's ride. Yeah, we'll start, because obviously the World Cup starts tomorrow. Who do we think is going to win? And we'll just keep this and see if maybe halfway through we change it. But, Chito, who do you think
For the
is gonna
whole
be your
World Cup?
winner?
Yep, the entire thing.
Brazil.
Yeah. If they win the last episode, you have to paint your face.
I'll paint my face in the
Paint your
Brazilian
face.
colors.
Paint your face. Yes.
Perfect.
All right. How about you?
I'm picking Argentina.
Argentina?
I want Argentina to
Stronghold?
win.
I think my top two are. I just want Argentina to. I just think Argentina has a solid team. I
Yeah.
really do. I want to believe. I want to. And Brazil, definitely. If Ney can, put that fucking Brazilian team on his back and actually be a capitan, which we need him, even if he's wearing the band or not, we can see good things.
I think it'd be good.
Yeah. And what the fuck, man? Does Messi ever get injured?
Hey,
Like,
hold on.
he's-
Don't start
Bro,
on that
knock
right
on
now.
wood.
No,
I'm just saying,
don't
he's
start-
always
no,
in top
knock
shape.
on wood.
We're knocking on wood. We're knocking on wood,
Hey,
but
we're-
it's
cook
incredible.
Cook this.
Oh my God. This is not gonna make it. This is not gonna make it. It's like, how dare you?